This is the vlog for January 16th, 2019. Um, my birthday is a month from today, and on Saturday, I think, or rather, a month from Saturday, this project will be over. I mean, the initial, not initial, that's going a little too soon. The scope of this project was to do a vlog every day for 365 days, and I will have done that on February 19th. I honestly don't know what I'll do after that. I wondered how much cool stuff I'd be able to announce on this channel. Maybe I'd finally find a girlfriend, or I'd get my book published. It's one thing having a draft done. I've had a draft done of my original manuscript when I started this channel. It's a very different thing to have an actual book published that you can say, hey, if you go to the store or go to that site or the other, you can get my book and give it a read. You might even like it. But I don't want to think too much about that. Making this into a big deal was never my goal. And admittedly, I've had a lot of good news or a lot of good days, and I've had some tragically poor ones as well. But I guess that's how life goes. You have your good days and you have your bad, and hopefully the good outweigh the bad and you just keep going. Today is now getting quite windy. It was breezy enough when I went for a walk today, and I went down to Marymore again. Actually, this time I walked all the way from the landing through the park and back, so I did nearly 2.5 hours of walking. So I'm going to be ready for bed pretty soon tonight. I'm getting a lot better at core mining and Elite Dangerous. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But I've been thinking more and more, there's a feature of the game where if you go out and find these engineers, they can improve your systems in ways that the baseline models you buy cannot normally perform. But in order to do the big one that I really want to do, which is frameshift drives, the jump technology that lets you move across the galaxy faster, you have to leave the bubble being the area of settled space where security is common and aliens are rare. The further out of the bubble you get, the more weird things that you can accidentally come across. And in order to improve my jump capacity, I need to jump well outside the bubble in a series of small hops and find an item called meta alloys that I then give to the engineer that can improve my drives. And there are a couple ways to get these meta alloys, but the most common way is to find a ground planet, land on it, take out your ground vehicle, drive around, and find alien pods, break off a part of them, and the inside will contain meta alloys. To say that this is an unusual thing to do in this game is an understatement. Even more surprising is that there are guides online on how to do this. So it's not like this is even rare ground to tread for people. Honest to goodness, I love how the game can do as much as it does with what is essentially very bare bones in some ways flight simulator. There's actually a lot of options. There's a lot of things that you can do, but the actual range of activities, generally you travel from planet to planet, you or star system to star system, and you fly into space stations, do stuff, you leave space stations, you get missions to shoot up other players, you get commodities from one station, trade them at another station to make a profit. You can mine for asteroids, and you can explore. And there are a handful of somewhat more esoteric activities like looking for salvage. A friend of mine has actually made a hospital ship that goes into stations that have been damaged and currently on fire, rescues people, and takes them to a rescue ship nearby. I guess it's not really the bare bones as much as I just said it was, but it doesn't have, the level of interactivity with the environment that you get from Warframe or World of Warcraft or other games that have war in the title. So the fact that you can land on a planet and find alien organisms that spit out items that you need to give an engineer to improve your ability to jump, it's a little out there, literally. But I need to come to grips with the fact that it's not nearly as hard as my brain is making it out to be. I've got a ship that's very self-sufficient and can jump essentially an infinite distance using the fuel scoop in the front to gather fuel from stars that it lands near, or not lands, but floats near. And then I'll be able to do it. And that's sort of a metaphor with this book. I am very close to getting it into a form that I can just start shopping around to publishers, and I just need to be able to do that. And then I'll have done it. I'll have done my lifelong dream to get a fantasy novel published. Ain't that something? I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.